This week, JTV is brought to you by Design Master Color Tool. For Color Tool, just for flowers, home decor stains, color text, or glitter and glue, Design Master is the expert. Visit their website to find out more at dmcolor.com. Today on JTV, we'll create this beautiful Epergne filled with fruit, but give it its own special antiqued Florentine finish using Design Master. So let's get started with our fruit Epergne. First of all, I have a beautiful classic Epergne shape from Windward. I've placed a piece of styrofoam in the top. I actually used one of the styrofoam cake dummies. And you'll notice that it was white, but I used the dark chocolate from Design Master to conceal it completely. With my fruit and vines all over the top of this, I'm not going to have to worry about putting moss underneath there or something like that. This way it'll just be a dark shadow in between. My first placement is going to be a Windward ivy bush. We're putting it right into the center and inserting it all the way down. That's a fast, easy way for something like this. One insertion and all of my ivy's already there. There are different lengths of the ivy, and for right now, I'm going to separate them. Short ones up here, medium ones on this side, and my longest ones are back here. Now with that, they're divided into 4 separate quadrants, and I'll add my fruit and then weave them back in between. My next placement is going to be a bunch of grapes right here. We need some wood picks for this, because this stem isn't very strong. I'm not going to be able to stick that into the foam itself. So instead, I'll place the grapes up here and place a wood pick through them. Dip it in my hot glue and run it directly through. Do one more right here. I'm making sure that I'm catching the grapes and the stem with my hot glue and my wood pick. That's going to make sure that that stays secure. There will be other things on top of it. I can trim these out later on if those are exposed. But if they get covered up, I don't have to worry about it. Got a beautiful stem of kumquats. These are from Windward. We'll put those in the top. And then bend these down. That's the great thing about permanent botanicals, is it allows us to weave them through and shape them as we're working with them. This stem of apples, I'm going to place in so that it falls about like that. I'll show you where the stem is over here, like this. We'll just bend that down at an angle and put our glue in there and insert that. Now you'll notice there's a little bit of the stem that's broken away there. No problem. A little bit of my Design Master covers that up. You'll notice I got it on a few of the leaves. That's going to be okay, because when we create the antique Florentine finish on this, it'll cover all that up and everything will blend together. I've got one more bunch of grapes, and actually what I'm going to do with these is tie them in to my Windward ivy right here. So those will be hanging down right about there, and my apples will join up with those right there. This bunch of grapes, I think, will look good. Yeah, we'll go like right there. wood pick through the center of the grapes. And I'll use a second one to secure it in place. But this time, I'm working with one that already has a pomegranate on it. I took and created a hole in the bottom of the pomegranate using an awl, and then placed my wood pick directly into it. So then that can go through here and right down on top of the grapes. That pomegranate's going to help hold it in place. Many pieces of fruit already come with a wire extension on it like this. I'm just straightening these out, dipping it in the hot glue, and placing it in. We have pears. I also have 4 different colored apples. These are made from a very soft foam, so I can stick my pick in and then place it into the arrangement. Now you'll notice that these colors might be a little bit bright, but that's okay too. Again, when we even out all the colors using the Florentine finish, it'll be beautiful. Let's see, this pomegranate will be great right here. I have 2 apples left. Insert the wood pick into the apple, glue on the end, and into the design. We'll put this one in on its side, right about here. A few more of these pomegranates. We have a few more places where we have our styrofoam exposed. We'll just fill in quickly there. We'll want to make sure that we get rid of all of our glue strands. First of all, I'll weave our ivy in between the fruit and shape it so that I get a great natural looking permanent botanical attribute. This one can come up into our pomegranates and weave down towards the front. This one will hang off the side. And a couple right here. These few leaves that fell off, I'll just add right up in the top. There. That looks great. Now, because we're working with hot glue, we can have a lot of the glue webs. So let's get rid of them using a trick we use here at JTB. I have a heat gun that I got at the DIY store, and I'm just setting it on high and going over the top of my arrangement. This dissolves all the glue webs. There. The heat just melts them directly into the arrangement itself and they disappear. So it's a perfect way to work with that. One more leaf. There we go. So our next step will be to use the pecan home decor stain. I really like using the pecan because it's a nice warm finish. What we're going to do with this pecan is spraying it on in a heavy fashion. I then can go back and use a plastic bag and just kind of wipe it across some of the surfaces. What you'll notice is it gathers it up and allows me to move it around. Darkening the finishes, and giving it more interest and texture. Look at how great that hot yellow apple looks now. We'll do the same thing to this green one. Just moving it around. Using the plastic bag helps us move the pigment around. It's different than using a paper towel or an absorbent cloth because then it doesn't absorb the paint. This moves it around and makes it more interesting. Now here's one of my favorite parts of the faux finishing technique. I use flat black Design Master for this next step. This is a can that's almost empty. And so what I'm going to be doing is just lightly pressing down on this and getting it to splatter. We'll do it again on this side. We're also going to continue to do it down on the leaves, too. Now, you're going to notice I hit a little bit hard right there. That's really easy to fix by taking my home decor stain, spraying that, and wiping it around. It pulls that right off, and I can go back in and do the splatter again. Now, the other secret to this is doing the splatter with two different colors. So I'm going to do it with my old standby favorite, moss green. I just push down gently and I get it to splatter. There. It's looking great. Now, there's one other method you can use if you can't get that splatter technique down. It took me a long time to learn it, and my friend Gretchen Sell at Design Master taught me how to just gently push my finger down. You can do it a different way. I use a plastic bag and a toothbrush. We'll spray the paint into the lid so that we get a nice puddle of paint down inside there. Then we put our toothbrush into that paint and then take this and flick it on there. It's great to do this with a gold paint because we just get a great little iridescence. Now, I've used the modern metals. You can also use brilliant gold or 24 karat gold. Any of those are perfect. But it gives wonderful little fine flecking to our arrangement. Our final step is to add a great ribbon from Reliant. This one has all those tints, tones, and shades. Notice our gold lumina, our moss green, our dark chocolate are all incorporated into this ribbon. We'll give it a dovetail end and another one and one more. You know, at JTB, I usually tell you about using 3 different ribbon types, but because this is an Old World centerpiece, I'm going to use one type today. I don't think that there were as many ribbons available at that point in time, and so to keep this more in tune with the season and having it be more authentic and antiqued, I'm only going to use one type of ribbon. I'm taking this and shoving it down into the styrofoam using my Koei color stick. Weave it up over the top like this, and again, pushing it into the styrofoam. Use the other piece on this side, right there, over here, and weave that down here. This beautiful ribbon from Reliant is all wired, and the wire's in the center of it. So that really makes it flow nicely through this arrangement. There, a beautiful Florentine finished antique fruit epergne. That's a befitting decoration for any holiday season. It's beautiful because we were able to create a faux finish technique that draws all the elements together. Until next week, keep having fun with flowers.